Anthony, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
Sure. So basically, as the Director of Information Technology, I deal with finding solutions for the company, dealing with the infrastructure, infrastructure for the data erasure, infrastructure for all of our forest locations, and solutions for those locations.
Awesome. And this ID stuff is so complex every time you've got new devices coming in. So how do you keep up with this technology challenge of new devices coming in? How do you kind of manage them well?
The biggest factor is using BitRaser as our data sanitization software. We were able to basically put any device that we're able to boot to right on a rack, boot up to it with the BitRaser solution, and erase the device, pull all of the device information, such as hard drive, manufacturer, everything that we can, and import it right into our system.
Awesome. And because you work in a business where it's very important to process units fast and efficiently, how does your system work, and how does your sanitization system work along with your asset management tracking platform?
It's been absolutely perfect. Devices that we're able to boot with a USB drive or via Pixie, we can boot those devices right up without any issues. We used to have a big issue as far as dealing with Apple devices, especially the newer M1 and above technologies, where we just weren't able to process them at all. We had to basically do internal data erasure using the Apple disk utility and manually pull the asset hardware information from the devices just by going through the device itself. So with BitRaser, we're able to really just boot them as normal and pull all the information that we need.
Awesome. Before you switched to BitRaser, what all challenges you were facing? You mentioned about your Apple devices, but what was affecting performance of your business?
Again, with the Apple stuff, that was our biggest challenge, but also with the going through our support with those devices. Anytime we had an issue with a new hardware, there was times where we would have to stop our production on new devices and reach out to that company and ask them to give us a customization in order to just be able to run the device. Since our switch to BitRaser, we've not run into any issues as far as any new technologies and able to process devices that we weren't able to before.
How was your onboarding process when you were planning this transition from your existing older system to BitRaser?
We went through a very long process of evaluating different solutions. We talked to about 5 different solution providers and testing them rigorously as far as what fits our needs, as well as which companies were able to take our needs and retrofit their solution to fit our needs. And with BitRaser, we've been able to take every requirement that we've had and modify with BitRaser to fit those requirements. So,
Hey Steve, welcome to ITAD Talks. For starters, if you could give us an introduction about yourself and the company you work with.
Sure. My name's Steve Hahn-Reitsmith. I'm the Director of Operations here at Computer Wholesalers. We are an off-lease remarketing and deployment agency. Essentially, we take computers from healthcare, from law firms, education, and we process them for off-lease reselling.
Awesome. And how many facilities do you have in the country?
We have 4. We are in Tempe, Arizona. We are in Duluth, Georgia, in Roselle, Illinois, and our headquarters is here in Hackettstown, New Jersey.
All right. And what kind of assets do you process in your facilities here?
Typically laptop, desktop computers. You can see anything from Apple to HP, Dell, Lenovo. We do servers, we do hard drive arrays. We even do some weird things like blood pressure machines and carbon emissions machines, but that's kind of rare.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. And when your business team goes to a customer, and you were looking for IT assets, what sets your company apart?
I think number one, our focus on data security. We have a very stringent process in place at all 4 facilities, so we make sure that everything that is received is accurately tracked. We use asset tracking tags to kind of follow a unit throughout its entire life cycle at CWI. And then we'll use BitRaser to wipe those devices securely.
All right. And how does BitRaser help you meet the customer requirements of compliances that they look for?
Well, a lot of the healthcare has to do with HIPAA, and a lot of the law firms has to do with SOX. We actually make sure that we process all our units at least to NIST 888 clear.
All right. And I've heard that wiping Mac devices is a bit of a nightmare. How do you solve that problem?
Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. We actually faced a lot of issues trying to figure out the most efficient way to wipe the new M1 and newer generation Apple laptops. And we use BitRaser. It works almost as seamlessly as our desktop stuff.
Right. All right.